welcome to CAGCast episode number 501. I'm your host, GPD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's just about ready to sell his Nintendo Switch, Wombat.
I have at least a week, right? A week?
A solid week of entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I ran out of things to say, so I came up with that last minute. But we have some Switch news to get to later in the show.
Yeah, we're not that far along yet.
No, we still have to talk about non-video game things for like a half an hour.
And speaking of switching, Shipwreck's here.
Hello.
Hello.
We're not doing a video one this week, right?
Oh, we are. Where are you? No, it was fun to do that. And I think that
I had a blast doing it.
I think we will do that again once in a while. The problem is that the Google Hangouts program, software, browser, I don't know what you call it, application, it messes with our microphone levels. It has something called automatic gain control, and you cannot turn it off. And while maybe it's fine when you're watching it on YouTube because you're not listening on headphones and you're distracted by our gorgeous faces, I think for those of us, those of you who are just listening on headphones, and most of you just listen to us in podcast form, it's a lot of extra work to get the audio to be sort of where I want it, because I have to go in and adjust the levels and throughout the show for everybody. And who wants more work? Not me.
Definitely not you.
Especially not me.
I don't mind this anyway. I got one hand up the nose, another hand down the pants.
Right. So I think maybe we could do it once in a while. It might be fun. Give you something to look forward to. But I think we'll stick with the audio only for now until the technology gets better or there's an easier way to do it. Or I don't know. We have a
what
reason.
About every time we go get a haircut?
We feel like we're especially looking good.
Right.
So never.
Let's coordinate our haircuts.
That's easy for me.
Similar to like women in menstrual cycles. Like,
yes,
we'll get on the same haircut cycle.
This is a great plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that makes sense to me. I mean, otherwise we're getting needless haircuts.
Right. Or we're not.
Yes.
We're showing people when we're not at our best, and that's just dumb. But people seem to enjoy watching the 500th anniversary show, 500th episode show. But not enough people watched it that we going to keep doing it every week. So yeah, but before we get into
thanks for the people who donated as well.
Yeah, we made like $112, I think. Or at some point,
nice.
At some point that comes in, I guess. I don't know exactly how that works. But
what was the Kickstarter goal for that?
It was $7.
Did we make it? $7. Okay.
The stretch goal was that we never do a video podcast again.
Did we hit it?
We nailed it.
Nice.
No, we'll see. But before we get into the feedback from last week's 500th episode show, I have some big news to break to you guys in support of my playing ping pong against younger players.
Uh-huh.
The world, I know that you all are very aware that there's some big sporting events going on right now, like the Stanley Cup playoffs and the World Table Tennis Championships in Dusseldorf, Germany. And right now, a 13-year-old boy has defeated the 6th best player in the world. The world. Do you understand what that means?
It's like the tri-state area.
The world. And, two Japanese people.
So what you're saying is that ping pong players are just generally speaking not that good.
No, obviously that makes
that
no
even
sense.
the best is like,
he could lose.
Or that it's a kid's game.
Yeah, it's just a kid's game.
Or it's a ageless game, I think is the point I'm trying to make. And he not only beat him.
Like Mad Libs.
Right. And not only beat him.
For ages 8 to 80.
When you lose, you get knocked out of the tournament. So he's done already.
Give me a proper adverb.
Youth. Defeat. I don't know. I can't come up with
those
an
adverb.
That's not an adverb.
Neither one of those are adverbs. And I don't know what a proper adverb would be anyway.
That's just a made up thing.
That was a made up thing that I said, yes.
Anyway, so now that I proved that I am not some sort of weirdo for playing against children, Yeah, well, look. I mean, look, the evidence is clear. You feel free to make fun of me all you want. I get it that it's a good time for everybody. But the reality is there are kids who are really good at ping pong and can be the best players in the world. Unlike any other sport, basically. So
Unlike any other sport.
right. So table tennis is a sport like no other.
And chess.
Chess,
So chess in
chess
there.
is not a sport. I'm pretty sure.
These are both board games.
No, you don't
They're
sweat.
tabletop games.
You do not sweat. You don't need a towel to play chess. Is what I'm saying.
Some people do.
Very obese people might need a towel to play chess.
You need a towel to do everything. Let's be honest here.
I don't even know what that means.
I've never seen you not have a towel.
That's
As soon as it gets to be above 70 degrees.
I learned that in Japan.
Uh-huh.
That's something that I picked up in Japan, where it becomes 95% humidity from June to October. Everybody carries a towel with them. I actually don't carry a towel with me now that I'm in America because I don't want to look like a freak. But I certainly subscribed to that convention while I was living there, and you need it. I do not have a towel with me at the moment. I may have one with me at E3.
You will have one with you at E3.
If I remember, I will.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of E3,
We're going to be in meeting rooms the whole time. You might not need it.
but it gets warm outside sometimes when you have to hoof
Yeah.
it to various places.
Oh, that is true. The way the schedule worked out, there are going to be a couple sprints in between conference halls on this one.
I like how at the very beginning of you booking the schedule, you were very pessimistic, and you're like, I was even thinking oh, why did I even book this? Why am I even going? But at the end, but now that you're basically done with the schedule, you've got us appointments that I don't think we've had for years.
Yeah, I came through.
You did.
They heard I
sent
wasn't coming.
emails.
How did that even happen? What's like? What do we think the reason that we got these appointments are? It's certainly not because we're-
Cancellations.
I don't know if it was necessarily cancellations in all venues, but I don't know. I was polite. I think that goes a long way.
Mhm.
I also I know a fair amount of these people by now, so it's not like I'm just out of nowhere asking them about stuff.
Some random redheaded freak emailing them out of the blue.
I kept my expectations
Which is
in
his
check.
email address. Random redheadedfreak@gmail.com.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we got all the big ones pretty much.
Yeah,
we didn't get Nintendo because I did not even remember to ask Nintendo.
well, it seemed like a waste of time even asking, but in a bit, maybe with you want to keep the train rolling.
Right, I'll shoot it out an email to Nintendo.
So you should take a victory lap and throw out some of these big names that you've booked.
Oh, we got Activision, which we generally get Activision every year.
Right, that's not that unusual.
No, we got Warner Brothers for the first time in a few years.
Nice.
We got Ubisoft for the first time in a few years, and it's a late Thursday appointment for Ubisoft, which the last time we had one of those is when we met Major Nelson at the booth, just said hi, and then he took our spot in line.
Right. Well, I mean, he didn't do it. The Ubisoft PR people gave him
right.
our
They
spot.
made the right choice. The Ubisoft PR people made the right choice.
Right. That would have been dumb to let us go instead of the crew from Microsoft. It wasn't just him. It
Right.
was their whole
Right.
posse.
Right. It was just us getting shut out.
It was very funny. It was worth it
Right.
just for the story.
Yeah. It's oh, Major Nelson's here. Oh, he's going to that room, and we're just standing outside of
But we talked to him for a little bit first, and we're
right, while we were all waiting.
It was great.
Oh, you going into this? Yeah, I am. Nope. See you later, Major Nelson.
It was worth it. It was totally worth it. So that could happen again, and it would be ideal if that happens again.
Right. We got PlayStation appointments.
Which is crazy. I think the last Sony appointment that I remember getting was It was the one where it was like 3 hours in a row of appointments or something like that. You go from room to room, and it was...
That was like the first year I went, when it was small E3.
Yeah. It was like with... what was the game there? It was the first Insomniac game for like... The after Ratchet and Clank.
Infamous?
Infamous. It was Infamous, I think. So it was quite a long time ago. And those appointments were very boring, but everybody was like sleeping in the appointments. But that was the last one. So, how many years ago was that? I mean, it's crazy.
Meanwhile, while you were in those appointments, I was just like playing every game that was at E3 that year because nobody else was there.
Right. That was the invitation only year, right?
Yeah. Where it was only in like the small concourse hall.
Right. And I lost my video camera in a cab.
Right. And literally we could just, like, I remember the first day we went there and it was just like, yeah, all these games are in this room and you can just walk straight up to them and play them. There's like no lines for anything. I remember Too Human was there.
Yeah, right. There was no way to apply for any sort of media badge to get in. It was just like, don't call us, we'll call you. Mm-hmm. And somehow they called us. And then somehow I left my video camera in a taxi because the taxi guy had weed and he let me smoke it.
Good times.
Yeah, it was good.
So yeah, it's going to be, and you got us into a Microsoft event as well.
That's right. That one we've gotten into in the past. You have good luck. Thanks, because Major Nelson hooks it up and Jeff.
Because he feels bad about that Ubisoft.
Yeah, so we got that going on. What else that is exciting? Are those the big ones?
I
really?
mean, there's a lot of good.
I'm excited to see all the T-shirts that GPD brings home for me.
We're going to all the press conferences. The major, Microsoft and Sony. That's as far as
I'll be home watching those on TV.
Yes. Yeah, it should be fun. Should be a lot of fun. Here's some questions from the listeners about E3 while we're talking about E3. Say E3 some more. At Cavacino asks, what are you guys excited to see, learn more about at E3?
Video games?
VR, all VR, basically. Just like
I managed to book an entire schedule without any VR.
Imagine that. Yeah, I did get some emails about VR stuff, but I could
some of those pitches. I'm not going to name names or go into details or anything, but some of those pitches were literally just like, hey, we have a VR game. Like, not even like telling you what kind of game it was.
Do you think because they're just saving time because you either want to see a VR game or you don't? Like, you may have a no VR rule going?
It could be. But it's so weird how that has already like kind of shifted away in just a year. Like, Oculus isn't even there this year.
I don't think that's a shocking thing at all. I think we pretty much said that a year ago.
Sure. I meant weird as in we were right.
Oh, okay. I'm like...
It's weird.
Like, we kind of knew that. I don't know what's so shocking. Us being right is shocking. Yeah, I'll give you that.
To answer this guy's question, I would say I'm really interested to see the Sony first party lineup.
I want to see that Spider-Man.
Hell yeah.
Give me that Spider-Man.
Yeah, all the Sony first party stuff, the Days Gone, is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. The biker one?
Yep.
I'm excited to see Xbox Scorpio and see what's going on with that.
I'm excited just to see what's going on with Xbox's booth. Because it's very scaled back this year. And I don't know. I don't have like a real strong feel of what they are going to have to show.
Usually, they may just be showing third-party stuff. They don't have that many marketing deals with, at least none that I could think of off the top of my head at this point either.
It is weird that they have a smaller booth. Like, why bother having a smaller booth? I'm sure they could spend the extra few bucks to have the normal size. I mean, their booth is normally very large and has a lot of stuff, packed with stuff. Maybe not as big as Sony's, but close, right? Now it's not. I don't know.
Maybe they're going to announce that this is the last year for video game support. And just go back to making software.
Right. They're dropping Scorpio, and they're like...
Yeah, like, okay, and this is it. This is the last one.
Scorpio.
So enjoy it, you jerks.
Scorpio can run Microsoft Excel in 4K. That's all you need to know.
Get those formulas ready.
At Yael Osos wants to know, it says, give us some way out there E3 predictions.
Microsoft's given up on the games business.
I'm still sticking with my Destiny 2 is going to run at 60 frames per second on Scorpio. That they're saving that they're going to drop that at the press conference and get a lot of applause from the people in the audience. I don't know. It's not going to really mean anything in terms of sales, probably, but nerds will clap for it. That's all I got, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a hardware year, really.
But it is, though, with Scorpio.
Kind of.
Right.
I don't know. Like them having to say that existed last year just to take some of the piss out of the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S, I guess.
Well, they didn't have a lot of piss for themselves to pass around, so they had to.
Right. They were
something.
mainly looking to take other people's piss. But I mean, I don't know, Scorpio, there's not a lot that they could say that would be that surprising about it, right?
They need, yeah. I mean, I think if you want to talk about what I think the key for Scorpio is they need to convince people that it's not going to be like PS4 Pro, and they're going to have to somehow take it.
It's going to be more expensive.
But it's more expensive.
And sell fewer.
It might not be more expensive. It'll probably be $400 by the time it comes out. That seems like fairly reasonable, I guess. I think they need to convince people that they're going to take a more active role in helping third-party publishers put out games that support it. I mean, like, take advantage of it, not just support it. Because Sony has not done a good job with that. And I think the word is out on that. So, yeah.
Let's probably show a Halo trailer.
But yeah, that wouldn't be too surprising. All right.
I think Ubisoft's going to announce Ubi Access, and it's going to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive program.
Like EA Access.
Yes.
And Steep 2 is going to be the first game on it.
Probably. Assassin's Creed 1.